This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by Audible.com.
Newt Gingrich in a world of trouble. Let me tell you some of the folks that have quit on his campaign. First of all, we have his spokesman, Rick Tyler, who's been with him for a dozen years. Drops the elbow from the sky. Newt, here's what news I got for you. Wasiktalan, I'm leaving your campaign. Just the beginning. Then you go to his campaign manager, Rob Johnson. Suplex. Paul drives him, suplex, then Paul drives him into the ground. It was like, oh, damn, my campaign manager is gone. My spokesperson gone. Campaign manager with him for about a decade as well. And the spokesperson, remember, is the guy who wrote the message about Newt fighting through the literati and fighting against the minions of the mainstream press and how heroic he was and all that stuff. This guy who worshipped and adored Newt Gingrich dropping the hammer on his head. But we're not done yet. Also, strategists Dave Carney and Sam Dawson, state directors in Iowa, Craig Schoenfeld, and South Carolina, Kate Dawson. Oh, man, they pulled him aside. This is like an old WWF thing where they just pull him, say, it's going to be okay. Washington hit him with the chair. And then, oh, no, they're all ganging up on him. I don't know, man. So a massive turn of events for Newt Gingrich, the beatdown of his life. When they told him the news, apparently he had an interesting reaction when they asked him how'd that go. When they asked the different staffers, they're like, oh, we don't want to say. Okay, so that part we're not being told about. If all that wasn't bad, one of his national co-chairs, campaign co-chair, Georgia Governor Sonny Perdue, also gone. He's switching to Tim Pawlenty. So, of course, the question is, why did they all dump Newt at the same exact time, delivering him probably a fatal blow to his campaign? Well, several different theories. One is that he is fat and lazy. He just went on a trip to the Greek islands with his wife. People are like, what are you doing? You just started the campaign, and you're already in a world of trouble, and you're going to Greek islands for a couple of weeks. What are you talking about? Look, here's something that nobody else is saying. But his wife with the, $500,000 account at Tiffany's. Now remember, she's his second or third mistress, third wife eventually, right? And now in the middle of a presidential campaign, well, you got to keep the wife happy, go over to the Greek islands. Now, I don't want to put it all on her. It's Newt's decisions, right? But they're like, no, you're supposed to be running a tough campaign here. More importantly, he apparently did not want to go and do town hall events and fundraisers, go to Iowa over and over. Apparently wouldn't even return some invites, emails to him, invitations, et cetera, et cetera. And they're like, what are you doing? He's like, I don't want to run a retail campaign. I want to do speeches and debates, et cetera. You know what that means? I don't want to bust my ass and go to Iowa and go talk to regular people. I'm rich, man. I ain't got time for this. So that is the leading theory. Second theory is, well, look, Newt Gingrich's campaign has been an absolute disaster, and his chances of winning have been greatly reduced if they were high in the first place, which they weren't, right? So he came out against Paul Ryan's plan, and a world of hurt came down on him from the Republican side. He apologized left and right. He had the Tiffany's problem, et cetera. But look, these things work in tandem. You think, well, the guy doesn't have much of a chance, and he won't bust his ass. Third possible reason, they're saying that he was trying to run a national campaign on a low budget for his staffers, okay? There was some vague references to that, and I was like, you might put up with all this stuff if you're getting compensated okay. But if you add on top of that, he's going to the Greek islands and hanging out with, and having a great time and going to Tiffany's every other day, and you're not getting paid very much, well, that tries your patience. Again, I'm sure all of these had something to do with it. Fourth of all, he was apparently aloof and stubborn. He wanted to do it his way and nobody else's way. So they're like, why do we keep giving him advice? Fifth of all, some of his advisors were itching to go over to Rick Perry, especially Dave Carney in New Hampshire. Apparently worked with Rick Perry, wanted to work with him again, and Rick Perry might be entering the race. So that was certainly a factor. And then finally, when you put it all together, I think they all looked around and they're like, this guy's a loser, right? Yeah, everybody agreed? Yeah, let's shake on it. Yeah, loser. Let's get out of here. Okay, And that's what happened to him. So Newt Gingrich, of course, now says, oh, no problem. The campaign starts anew. I'm out in California the next couple of days. I'm going to be all right, man. I'm going to Cali. It's totally fine. Audible.com is the leading provider of audiobooks.
In fact, they have over 75,000 titles.
And you can listen on your iPod or your MP3 player. You can listen to it anywhere at any time. It's incredibly convenient.
And they have books in every single genre imaginable. You can get a free audiobook if you go to audiblepodcast.com/TYT.
Totally true.